You ready to do it?
Yeah.
All right. What's up, Videolanders? I'm Brad.
I'm Natalie.
And today we are going to adventure through AV Assemble number 25. So I just met you, what, like 10 minutes ago?
Yeah.
Well, thanks for being on. This is awesome. I love having new people in the studio. So I asked you, we've been talking, back and forth for a couple weeks about like top 10 films and some things like that. So let's just today find out who you are as a Videolander.
All right.
Okay? So do you have a top 10 film list?
I do. I had my daughter write it down while I was trying to dictate it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm very anxious. I love hearing everybody's top 10. Everybody has their 10, and it's just special to me. So,
yeah.
What is your 10?
Honestly, I think people that personally know me might be kind of shocked. Because, I get to be geeky, and I get to, Lord of the Rings, and Star Wars, and Harry Potter, and one's on my top 10.
Oh, wow.
So, I'm all over the board. So
I'm curious.
I've
so, with Brian, so who is Brian Still to you?
He is my fiance.
Okay, so would Brian Still approve of this list, you think? Or is he going to be scratching his head?
I don't think it surprises him at all.
Yeah?
Not at all.
So does he know about anything you're going to talk about today?
He knows about some. I've called him out on his videos. So.
All right, so let's get into your top 10. What is your number 10?
All right. Well, I cheated a couple times on this. I have some ties.
Ooh. Was it difficult?
It was.
Yeah, it's a motherfucker.
It was. I don't watch nearly as many movies as Brian does. Because he's in front of movies, 6 to 8 hours a day on any given day. So, I work the 9 to 5, so I watch movies occasionally on the weekend.
Yeah.
So, it was hard, but I think I got some good choices. So, my number 10, they're tied because I love the actor. He's one of my favorites. I have the original Rocky.
Oh, okay, right on.
And Rambo.
Oh man.
So
That's awesome.
I'm a definite Sly girl.
So is this gonna be like your top 11 then, or is there?
It's probably top 12.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I've got another tie on the list. So.
Rocky and Rambo. That is if you have to tie something, that's a good tie.
Yeah, I miss Rocky and Rambo. They aren't in my movie collection anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, they.
Did you watch Creed?
I haven't yet.
So good.
I haven't yet. I don't get to make it to the theaters very much.
Oh, so good. He won the Best Supporting Golden Globe.
Yes.
Yeah, he's gonna take home the Oscar. He's that good.
I think so. I from what I've heard and from just the legacy that he's carried on,
he deserves it.
I think so. And in all honesty, if he wins and DiCaprio doesn't,
oh man,
I think I'm gonna fall off my chair laughing.
Yeah.
But I'll feel really bad about it later. But yeah, I'm a Sly girl, and I actually haven't owned those movies. Oh goodness, since about 11 years.
Really?
Yeah. Had a very bad breakup, and apparently they are guy movies.
Oh man.
So when he moved out, all my director's cut collector sets disappeared, and yeah, I have still yet to see The Godfather.
Wow. Yeah, you gotta see that.
I had the director's cut of that, and haven't watched it. Yeah. Just it's still.
You need to watch it. Yeah, those are some amazing movies. My wife and I brought this up before in a couple episodes, but man, I didn't watch Godfather movies until probably in my late 20s. It escaped me for a long time. Mm-hmm. And we went to the video store one day. We grabbed them together, and we just rented the first one because they're 3 hours, and it can't be that good, right? It can't
epics,
be. Yeah, it can't be that good though. It's 3 hours. Come on, really? It's gonna be one of those.
It's one of the first ones that's 3 hours long. That.
So I remember we laid a blanket down and we watched the first movie, right? Mm-hmm. And we were like, this is both of us together, my wife and I. So we went back to the video store that same day and rented Godfather 2. Watched it. Went and got Godfather 3. That kind of sucked. But, yeah. So,
HBO is doing the 7-hour marathon of Godfather and Godfather 2, I think, this weekend.
You gonna watch it?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
Good movies.
I'm a Brando fan, so
Uh-huh.
maybe I'll watch it.
Are you a Tom Hardy fan? Because I'm saying Tom. I've heard other people say this, so I can't coin it, but they say that Tom Hardy's like the new Marlon Brando.
I am a Tom Hardy fan.
Uh-huh.
However, I think he's a little too overplayed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Every once in a while, these actors come across in Hollywood, and I'm like, okay, it's a good actor, but then they're in everything.
Yeah.
And I sit there and I wonder, oh, okay, is this the new Kanye that everyone had to collaborate with when he first came out? And I get that way with some actors, and right now Tom Hardy is
okay.
He's one. I think he's really good. He's done some fantastic things, but I'm still waiting for his
Godfather.
His role.
Yeah.
That one that just cinches it for me.
Yeah.
And I've seen some good ones, but
so Mad Max wasn't one of them.
I actually haven't seen it yet.
Wow. Okay.
I've only ever seen.
I'd be curious to see what you think about Mad Max, the new one. I've only
seen the second Mad Max. So I think it was the second. One with Tina Turner.
Third one. Yeah, Beyond Thunderdome. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's the only one I've seen.
Okay.
So.
Well, we know that's not on the list.
No. No.
So number 9.
Number 9 is Memoirs of a Geisha.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's I love pretty films.
That
and
is
it was a
gorgeous film. It's I think the cinematographer of that movie actually won that year. It's a fantastic looking movie.
Yeah, I really, I don't know, I couldn't stop watching it when it first came out. I went and saw it a couple times. I ended up buying it right away. And
do you remember who directed that? Was that Rob Marshall? I want to say it's Rob Marshall. I'm not for
honestly,
sure. But yeah, Steven Spielberg was attached to that movie forever. And then I think we went to Rob Marshall. I don't know. Okay, but yeah,
that's something else.
It is a beautiful.
I'm one of those people. I always have to look up something later. So
it's a beautiful movie, though.
It is. I read the book, and I loved the book, and I liked how it wasn't the traditional happy ending. Like, you get to the end, and he comes back for her, and I'm here for you. Everything, and she admits, everything I've done has been for you, and yet she's still just the mistress. Yeah. He's still married. He still has a family with children, and she's just the, how did they word it? The wife of the evening. And in the book it even goes further. She goes to America with him, and
really,
I think, if I'm remembering correctly, I think they have a child in the book.
Wow.
But
gorgeous looking movie.
It was a beautiful movie. A lot of those movies get me. But, and then it got a lot of flack because they had, it's traditional geisha culture, and then you have a Chinese woman, you had a whole Chinese cast, and a lot of people were throwing that out, that you're having Chinese people play Japanese people.
Yeah. And
it apparently was seen as inappropriate. It was banned for a while in Japan, and...
Really?
It's
pretty. I think the last time I actually watched that movie, and actually my wife's in the studio today with us. Did you look that up for us? Is it Rob Marshall? Is it? Cool. Awesome. So yeah, but the movie looks fantastic, and if you love pretty things, one of the what, babe? Yeah, the Revenant is one of the most beautifully shot films I have never seen a movie more beautiful than The Revenant. It is breathtaking.
And the cinematography was great, but you still had the gritty moments as well. And I really, like I said, I don't get to the theater that much, so I miss out on some of the Adventures of Videoland because I can't watch them.
Yeah.
I'm like, I haven't seen the movie.
If you have to make Brian take you, or you need to
he'll watch the kids. I'll go by myself.
Or you need to go. Yeah, you have to see Revenant in the theater because it is that beautiful.
Yeah, my mom and sister went and saw it, and they. I told them they can't tell me about it.
Yeah, it is
We're not allowed to talk about movies anymore since Titanic, so.
All right, number 8.
Number 8, Dallas Buyers Club.
Okay, cool.
I thought that was fantastic. You have the typical, you say Matthew McConaughey, and everyone goes to the Dazed and Confused, and the stoner, and the, thick Southern all right.
Yeah.
And
so you a big McConaughey fan then?
I've seen a lot of his stuff. He's not like, top 10 faves, but he's been in a lot of good things. I liked him in, oh goodness, the Christian Bale and Dragons, and he was bald and huge.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
chewed on a cigar.
Rain of Fire.
Yes.
Yes, Rain of Fire.
Rain of Fire.
Yeah.
And I thought it was awesome because it's not his typical role.
That's a fun movie to go back and watch now.
Yeah.
It is. It's a beer movie now. Beer and pretzels, man. You just get some of that. You just sit down. You're watching fucking Rain of Fire, dragons and castles and Christian Bale. It's badass.
Well, and the thing is, I'm not a huge Christian Bale fan. I watch it for the dragons. Okay, Christian Bale can die in a fire in this movie. Yeah. I'm still gonna watch the movie, and
it's such a unique movie. It's just fun.
Yeah,
they don't make movies kind of like that.
I have some of those movies that I go to when I'm just do I have anything to watch? What do we have? And I'll look on our wall of movies, and I'm like, let's watch Doom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's entertaining. You don't really have to pay attention.
Yeah, Rain of Fire is a complete shut the brain off, but it's fun. But Dallas Buyers Club, do you think?
I loved it though.
His name is Jared Leto. So do you think that he's actually going to pull off the Joker?
Oh yeah.
You think so?
No question.
Cool.
No question. I think they made a really good choice with him. People gave Heath Ledger flack. They've given every Joker flack. I think you need to have someone who, in reality, is naturally eccentric. Jared Leto has proven time and again he has done some eccentric things, but he's got his own personality. He doesn't go with the grain, and I think that he can get into a role enough. You watch him from My So-Called Life. He's a young guy. He was the cute guy, and he's made it. He's matured enough that he doesn't have to be pigeonholed in that role. He doesn't have to be the hot guy. He doesn't have to, be the awesome. But no, I thought he did fantastic in that movie. He was extremely believable. You got so attached to his character, and I cried watching the movie because I was just, with him and Matthew McConaughey portraying something that is, it's based on a true story, and it happens to so many people. And when you know people who are afflicted with HIV and AIDS, and you see what they go through personally, it's a very moving story. Along that same line, Philadelphia, that got me too. Tom Hanks was fantastic in that, but I think Dallas Buyers Club went above and beyond.
Really?
With it, I think it went more into the more gritty personal level of the characters. You didn't get to see okay, my life was like this, and now it's like this. His life was kind of shit to begin with.
Yeah.
And he finds out he's got something incurable that technically you don't die from it. You die from simple stuff
like pneumonia or
pneumonia. You get a cold.
Yeah.
You get a bruise that doesn't stop.
Yeah.
And it's kind of seeing that struggle, and it was more realistic in that movie to me. So it hit home. I've had a couple friends in life that have HIV and AIDS, and it made me kind of internalize it more.
Yeah.
So.
Speaking on that disease, have you watched Straight Outta Compton?
Not yet.
Okay. Honestly, I was talking to my wife last night about it. We don't do our top 10 movies of, say, 2015 until the week of Oscar, just because we get pumped up. It gives me a chance to see limited releases, foreign films, things like that. But man, as of right now, Straight Outta Compton might be my favorite film of the year. It's amazing.
I've heard a ton of great things about it, and
connecting that to Eazy-E, dying of AIDS, but
yeah.
They don't go extreme like Dallas Buyers Club. They kind of hit on that at the very end, and kind of go past that pretty quickly. But just the rest of that movie is just, from the way it's shot, performances, soundtrack, energy. It's just a fantastic movie.
Yeah, and then you get the people who are actually involved. You get Ice Cube out there speaking about things.
Yeah.
And you realize that, he's personally attached to that movie, and sometimes you get those movies, based on a true story, and yeah, they had a little input.
Uh-huh.
But then you get someone who's speaking out, and they're like, this is it.
Yeah.
This is what we did. This is what we wanted to give the fans of Eazy-E. And from what I've heard, they delivered more than anyone could have expected.
And it's not even just about that either. It's such a movie of the times that we're living in. Mm-hmm. Just racially charged, and just the beating of like the white cops against young Black Americans and it's just it really hits on all that. Mm-hmm. Great social commentary, and
releasing it now, at this time,
the story is just as rich as it ever has been.
And
I'm surprised.
I think a lot of people who didn't even grow up with the music and the newer generation, they get to kind of see that this is still a constant struggle, and this is still life that's going on.
And so that's in there really good too. So it's a fantastic movie. So check that out when you get a chance.
I've got a whole list that I'm trying to get to, and it's not.
Yeah, right.
It's a slow going process, but.
All right, number 7.
Number 7. Brian will probably not be surprised by this at all.
Deadpool.
No. I'm a Disney fanatic. When I was a barista at Starbucks, to make my opening mornings go faster. I hated coffee before I worked there.
Really?
Yeah, and then we realized Starbucks employees are the worst customers.
Yeah.
Because you fine-tune your drink.
Yeah.
So you ask for like 18 different things. They have to check all the boxes and write things on it. Yeah. I became one of those people.
Yeah.
I had to list off like a whole paragraph of what I wanted for my drink. But yeah, every morning, we'd open the store, and a half hour later, you'd get the regulars coming in before work. And to make the morning go faster, I would always have Disney trivia if I was the barista. Cool. And so if you answered my question, you got your drink free.
Oh, cool.
And it's probably against policy. It's probably a bad
policy.
Yeah?
Answered a question and got a free drink.
Did
and
you really?
I
Where was
some
that at?
hard ones. So.
Was that the one at the west side?
Mm-hmm.
Yes!
On the levee?
When I was at
well,
school.
look at that. Look at that.
So cool. I remember. I'm like, I know that.
See? It's memorable.
I got for drinks. Sorry.
Yeah, and me and some of my friends,
She's not bullshitting. She gave out free drinks at Starbucks, and we just proved it.
Yeah.
See, now you can trust Natalie.
Well, me and some high school friends that worked there together. Yeah. Sometimes we'd open up in the mornings. We'd all have the same shift, and it was a grand old time. We'd ask questions that.
Did you ever switch it up?
Gender biased questions.
Did you ever switch it up and be like, one day they think they're gonna get a Disney question and they get like
sometimes
random
it's just
70s
trivia
porn question or something?
Well, if I was the barista, it was generally Disney.
So who'd run Jeremy in 1979?
Well, we had a guy, John, when he did trivia, he would just kind of do random like useless facts.
Yeah.
True or false, and then he'd say something to you, and
they fired that guy, right?
No. No, John's a good guy. And then my friend James, if he watches this. No, he was actually our shift, or not our shift lead, one of the shift leads, I guess, depending on when he worked. But yeah, he's actually the one that kind of got me in on Starbucks. So I think he left shortly after I did. Yeah. But yeah, I would have Disney trivia, and occasionally I'd just kind of throw in like random 80s cartoons or something like that. But I was a little gender biased sometimes. I'd ask the guys to name a Care Bear.
Yeah.
Because it was harder for them. Or the girls, I'd ask them a Transformer question.
I used to watch the hell out of Care Bears.
I loved Care Bears. My mascot was Funshine.
I think I had a bunch of Care Bears on my bed. Makes me sound weird now, but I did. And Pound Puppies.
I did in
Pound Puppies? I had Pound Puppies
I don't believe the Care Bears.
No, I did. I thought the kid. No, I'm serious. I thought as a kid, I thought the Care Bears were cool as shit, man. They had like thunderstorms on their bellies and
the original movie.
Strawberries and
shit. What was
the
one with the thunderstorm on his belly? What was his name?
Is that Grumpy? Okay. See, I told you, man.
Yeah, because you got kids now. You didn't know what it was then.
Jeez.
Liar.
Well, no, my mascot was Funshine. And in college, we had our lofts, and my loft was lined with the rainbow of Care Bears.
Yeah.
The originals, though. The new ones?
Yeah.
No, screw that. When
Yeah.
Cheer Bear has to have a ponytail because she's a girl. No. And now, Funshine has a very deep voice because Funshine is a boy now. Original Funshine was a girl.
Yeah.
And I got really irritated because they changed some of the girl Care Bears to boys. But, yeah, I remember as a kid watching the original movie. And that book was terrifying.
Yeah.
The book with the talking face. My daughter, I have that original movie on DVD, and my daughter watched it, and yeah, she was scared of the book for a little bit.
So what is the 7 then?
Number 7 is a Disney movie. It is Sleeping Beauty.
Oh, right on.
And not because of the movie necessarily. When I first got on VHS, the director's kind of extra stuff at the end of the movie. They went in about the lead artist, and how he hand painted every cell. And I'm a painter, and
cool.
you know, I graduated with an art degree, and I've always liked anything that talented. I focus on, and just knowing that he hand painted every cell, and it took him years to do, and it's a gorgeous, gorgeous movie, and for that time, that era that it was made, it was kind of ahead of its time. No one really put that much time into it. You kind of had the stutter cells, you had the sketchier animations, and it was a seamless movie. And having the characters go over all these hand-painted cells without the background really moving, it was interesting to watch because it fit together like it was supposed to. It didn't feel like there was the characters on a different layer being put over it as they're filming. So I don't know. I like it just because the animation was gorgeous and it got great songs.
Yeah, and Disney animation is just. We were at Disney last year, and you know, we were able to see some artists actually doing renditions. You know, and I like Disney. I never knew how. I didn't
a little
appreciate
sold out and played out.
Yeah, no, but I never
lately,
appreciated it. Like when I went to Disney, I'm like, man, all these stills that I see, like these artists like drawing, you know, and I'm like, wow, it just is. It's amazing. They had that look, and you can tell a Disney movie. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and even seeing the original, like I said, at the end of the movie, they had like a whole hour-long special on it, and you just see him like, you know, taking a page, looking at it, changing one little thing, looking and making sure that it all fits. And growing up watching those movies, I always wanted to be an Imagineer. And
now, can you draw anything like that? Are you that talented with it?
Brian would say yes. I am extremely self-critical.
Critic then, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Which is good.
I've done art for people that I give to them as gifts, and I will never be happy with them, but they seem to appreciate it. And I'm
that's
like,
cool.
Here you go.
Right on. Okay, so number 6.
Pay a tribute to David Bowie. Labyrinth.
Okay, right on.
Yeah, he was my first crush.
We just talked about Labyrinth quite a bit in Brian's last episode.
No, but yeah, David Bowie's my first like real life crush. My actual first one was actually Prince Philip from Sleeping Beauty.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, he's still my animation crush. So if I ever turn into a cartoon, you know, Prince Philip, I'm here.
I'm gonna ask you the same question I asked Brian. Then, what do you think is better, Labyrinth the movie, or the music in the Labyrinth?
The movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do appreciate the music, and I love me David Bowie. He's in my celebrity harem.
Yeah.
But, no, the movie. I thought it was gorgeous. I mean, Jennifer Connelly's eyebrows bother me, but no, I thought it was a really well done movie, and just seeing kind of all the little tricks and incorporating Henson puppets.
Yeah.
I don't know. You didn't really picture them as puppets.
Yeah.
They were the creatures in the movie, and you see all the humans walking around with them. And...
Have you ever seen the end of Requiem for a Dream?
Yes.
I always think of Jennifer Connelly going from Labyrinth to that movie there. It's like that's what happened when she got older.
I'm not a fan of Jennifer Connelly. So when I found out, I see her later on in like Beautiful Mind and stuff, and then I go back and I'm like, oh crap, she was the girl in Labyrinth. Like, I might have to lower my appreciation for this movie. But I don't know. She bothers me. Yeah. I don't know why, but
I haven't seen her in a while. You're right. She was in a lot of stuff there for a while. She was in Beautiful Mind. She was in Requiem. She was. I think she was in Blood Diamond. I believe she was in Blood Diamond.
Yeah. Well, she's married.
She was in one of the Hulk movies.
Was she?
Yeah, she was in.
Oh, was that Ang Lee's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was with Eric Bana.
We speak not of that movie. All right, number 5.
Number 5, I'm gonna have to say, is my other tie. And this, I think Brian was surprised by this one. Troy.
Okay. Wow.
My degree had a focus on Greek and Roman mythology. And so, funny story with Troy is I went to go see it in the theaters with my best friend at the time, and a guy I was kind of seeing, and we were all sitting in the theater, and I fell asleep. Actually, the guy I was seeing fell asleep too. We were both sitting there. We were bored out of our minds. Couldn't pay attention more than half an hour into that movie. We get out of the movie. She was so excited. She's like, "Oh my god, did you see this and this and this?" I'm like, "No, that was the slowest movie." I'm like, I had people I loved in this movie, but no.
Oh, so it's one of those movies that you didn't care for the first time around, but now it's on your 10.
It is.
I love those kind of movies.
Yeah, once I'm like, okay, I will give it a shot. Went back to the theater. I went by myself. Got myself some caffeine.
Yeah.
And I watched it.
That's amazing. And I love those kind of movies.
After the first half hour, it went uphill for me. And now, the Battle of Troy was more than a few days. But I liked kind of the epicness of it. Yeah. It was, it's a huge war. Everyone knows about it. Everyone hears, you mentioned the character Achilles and the legend of him, and everyone knows who you're talking about. They all know, heck, you have a weakness named after it, the Achilles heel, and you have Achilles tendon, and it's all because of this, this myth, and I didn't really appreciate Orlando Bloom in it too much.
Brad Pitt is pretty badass in that though, isn't he? It's a little too early in the morning to be killing princes.
Yeah,
love that line.
His fight, him and Eric Bana, that was probably one of the best scenes, and then. Just kind of when they had the love story come in, I was a little skeptical at first. I'm like, okay, Briseis. I don't think she even met Achilles, but going back and reading some of the myths about Achilles, I don't think they were in love, but it gave the movie drive to go in and do things, and gave him a reason to. Get shot
and that's weird too. I think that was Wolfgang Peterson who directed that, and that was like his last good film. He just kind of disappeared after that.
Yeah,
Das Boot, and he did Troy, and then he did.
Well, it's kind of like James Cameron. You had the Epic of Titanic, and then you don't kind of really do anything.
Yeah.
And then you have Avatar.
Yeah.
And then you don't really kind of do anything.
Yeah. And then it's the same way with Wolfgang Peterson, except for he didn't do anything after like Troy. I think he did something. But he didn't.
I think he kind of went to smaller stuff. I think it was.
I think he did Air Force One. I think
you might have. Sometimes you have the people in Hollywood that they hit their peak, and they know it, and they want to keep that bang, and that's. I don't know. That's their piece. Yeah. And, but yeah, I've got that tied with Dances with Wolves.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So better than Avatar, huh? Have you heard the whole Dancing with Wolves Avatar comparison?
Yes. Brian gets to bring that up. This movie is just about your people. And I liked it because it was pretty, but no, Dances with Wolves, I loved. I loved that movie. Kevin Costner, he is my future husband.
Kevin Costner's so badass, man.
Ever watches this? If you've ever seen, was it Mr. Brooks?
See, I've never seen Mr. Brooks, but here's the thing with me and Costner. Costner, I want, because Costner's a kind of a self-made man, and that's good. That's great, right? At the end of time, he can say, "Hey, I was Kevin Costner. I did my thing. I made Dancing with Wolves, right? I had some good movies." But man, I just want him to just let someone like Tarantino. Okay, we'll see if you're a Tarantino fan later. He's my favorite director, but somebody. I just want him to let somebody run with him and just have a blast. And I'm a big Pantheon guy where I put things in pantheons. You know, like top 10 films. Like I barely seen 10 films this year that I liked. Okay.
Yeah.
Probably played 2 games that I liked. You know, I'm very, very critical. Okay, too critical probably, but at the end of time, I want to look at like Kevin Costner. What was his best character? Okay. And I want him to have more opportunities, more chances to have amazing characters. And I'm like, man, I just want him, like, he was supposed to work in, he was supposed to be in Django. Okay. And ever since he dropped out of that, right? I'm like, man, him and Kurt Russell supposed to be in that. And I have to see before I die
I love
a
Kurt Russell
Kevin
too.
Costner, Kurt Russell Western. You know, and Kurt Russell has been on this Bone Tomahawk, and he's been on, you know, Hateful Eight. And I'm like, come on, just give me a Kevin Costner, Kurt Russell. They're brothers on horses, you know, on the prairie.
Yeah.
Sold.
Yeah. Well, and Kevin Costner, he does great in westerns.
Pet wolves.
My last dog was part wolf. She was a wolf hybrid. So my baby, my first baby. But yeah, I don't know. Again, some of my favorite movies are epic movies. They're the long 4-hour drawn out, you know, not action packed.
Yeah.
You know, you have.
Man, I'm so curious to see what you think of Revenant, man. I think you're really gonna, because a couple things that you've explained already.
Leonardo DiCaprio. I love him as an actor,
He's
and
one of
I think
my
he does
favorite
some great stuff. Gatsby, I was a little unsure
Yeah,
about.
Especially when you put Gatsby next to Wolf of Wall Street. You know, I think Gatsby. Did you like Wolf?
I couldn't watch it yet.
Okay.
It's in my queue.
Yeah.
And I have to be in the mood for some things. And I'm like,
Man, with you talking about, like, you know, looking at beautiful things, you like DiCaprio, and, you know, epics. I mean...
I just, when I hear about basically the character that they're playing, if I think I'm going to really just hate that character, like personality-wise, it takes me away from a movie for a minute.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I know this character's going to be a dick.
Yeah, don't watch Raging Bull then.
I've seen part of it. I couldn't finish it, so... but yeah, those are my tie for 5.
That's good.
So.
And I gotta say something real quick too about 5, because you said Troy, you know, you couldn't watch it, you know, for it took a while, and now it's on your 10.
Yeah.
I've never done my top 10, but 2 that would definitely be on there would be.
You need to have one.
Yeah, would be Pulp Fiction, and Big Lebowski, and both those movies. I did not like the first viewing. I just love when movies like that come around. Like, oh my god, it's brilliant.
I watched Pulp Fiction with my last like main ex, and you know he was convinced, because he had seen it so many times. He was convinced that I wouldn't figure it out. So at the end of the movie, he's like, "Okay, put the scenes in order. You know, tell me what timeline wise will happen." And I did. He's like, "You've seen this before." I'm like, "No, this is not hard to figure this out." But yeah, I don't know. I think we were young and dumb, and I'm pretty sure he thought I was a lot dumber than I was. But
yeah, I just love it when movies come around like that, though, and you don't get the first time, but then you realize the brilliance of it, and you're just like, "Oh my god, this was amazing."
When you have kind of that all-star cast, it's every once in a while you'll have a miss, but most of the times you have all-star casts, they go all out, and there's nothing bad about it. It's just like the most awesome thing of the time, and you know you get those a lot, and every once in a while you get one that just kind of, you had all these people. Like, how did this movie fail? And there's no explanation. Yeah. It's like no one cared to do it. I guess they just were in this movie as a favor. But no, when you get the movies like Pulp Fiction, where you've got the all-star cast, and you know they're dedicated to this role and they're dedicated to this movie, that's when you can appreciate.
So you a fan of Pulp Fiction?
I like it. It's probably in maybe my top 25.
Okay. Pulp Fiction or Goodfellas? That's the question.
Pulp Fiction.
You're all right, Natalie. You're all right.
Which is really funny. You don't punch me. I'm not a Tarantino fan.
Yeah, I know Brian's not either. So,
I honestly...
I won't hold that against you. That's okay.
I think he's a little overrated. I watched some of his stuff and I'm like, it was good. Like, but I don't understand, oh my god, this was awesome.
I've never seen a bad Tarantino movie, but I think that I'm more of an old school Tarantino fan than this new school. Like my favorite Tarantino is Reservoir, Kill Bill, Pulp Fiction.
See, Brian hated Kill Bill.
Really? See, that's in my 10 as well. Kill Bill 1 and 2, I clump them together as one, but I love Kill Bill. I think it's the music, it's so
yeah,
amazing.
the music got me in that. I was like, okay,
it's so badass.
I can do this.
The House, I think it's one of my favorite movies. I think it's The House of Blue Leaves. I forget, but it's amazing where she goes and she kills, all the guys. Oh, it's badass. I love it. So, all right, number 4.
This is gonna sound corny. The A&E version of Pride and Prejudice. It's technically a miniseries, but I've got it on 2 DVDs and watch it as a full movie.
Okay.
Colin Firth is... He was like the dream guy for me in that movie.
Right.
Everyone hated Mr. Darcy. He's this stuck-up asshole. And the entire movie, I was in love with him. I couldn't take my eyes off of him. I thought he was great. But they got, none of the actors really besides Colin Firth you really see around in mainstream movies, and I don't know, I love period movies, and it got me. And then they remade it with Keira Knightley, and it was a good movie.
Yeah.
But you took
it's like
this
Little Orphan Annie. Is that what we're talking about? Annie? Did you say Annie?
No, Keira Knightley.
No, Annie, the movie.
I've seen it. Yeah.
No, number 4. Is it Annie? I wrote down
Pride
Annie.
and Prejudice.
Oh, what did you say something about Annie?
The A&E.
The A&E. I'm like, I thought you said the Annie version of Pride and Prejudice.
No.
I'm like,
A&E.
I've never heard of that.
No, the Arts and Entertainment Channel. No, because they have a BBC version.
Okay.
And it's not very good.
I was like, I was trying to piece this together in my
No.
mind. I was like,
no. The A&E version.
She stumped me.
The finest girl. So yeah. No, the A&E version. It's 6 hours long. Brian has not watched it with me yet. But I told him, I was like, it's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And I can't make him, because if I make him, he assumes it's... Well, in this case, it's because it's one of my favorite movies. But otherwise, we need to talk about Kevin. Not one of my favorite movies. I liked it. I thought Brian would love it.
Yeah.
So I kept bugging him to watch it.
Okay, we're going to get into that a little bit deeper and see what you really think then. Okay, so number 3.
Legends of the Fall.
Oh, another Brad Pitt movie.
Mm-hmm. Long-haired Brad Pitt gets
That is a really good movie. I haven't seen that in a long time.
Yeah, it's...
I remember that being like one of my favorite movies when it came out.
Well, he did that, and then he did The River Runs Through It, and they were, similar roles, but yeah, Legends of the Fall, the dysfunction got me, but you kind of, I don't know what it is about it. It was like one of those epic stories, but him with Anthony Hopkins, I thought their pairing was really, really fantastic. Now you have Anthony Hopkins, who doesn't really get rid of his accent very well. So in the middle of Montana, you have a guy from the UK.
Yeah.
But I don't know, the one character, well, not even the character, the one actress I didn't really appreciate was like the love interest. I forget what her name is and who played her, but I didn't really appreciate her too much. I'm like, all of you are in love with this woman, like.
It's been so long, but I seriously, when that came out, it was one of my favorite movies. There's a couple movies that actually you've said on here now that I'm like, man, I need to go back and see that because it's been a while. Like seriously, like it's been a long time since I've seen Dances with Wolves, Troy, and Legends of the Fall.
Yeah,
I'd like to go back and watch all 3 of those.
Basically, the movies on my top 10 are the ones like, they're not really recent movies, but they're, if they're on TV, I won't change channel. I will sit there and watch through commercials to see this movie.
Yeah, right on.
But yeah, I remember Legends of the Fall coming out, and I was all about Brad Pitt, and my mom was like, no.
What about Cool World? It's the one where he's a cartoon Brad Pitt.
Oh.
All funky. He's all funky.
Oh, I forgot about that. I forgot that was not a good choice. No, but, well, and then everyone's like, oh, you like Legends of All, Brad Pitt long hair, how about Interview with Vampire?
Okay, where are we going?
His hair looks terrible.
Are you an Interview fan?
I like the movie. I really do, and
I like them together. I think Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise play off well.
And they did fantastic together.
How come there's no more Brad Pitt Tom Cruise? Like it just seems like they would work together again. I'd like to know if they had problems on set.
I think their lifestyles and their personalities probably
clash like a mother and the
probably now. I think back then when they were both like they're their peak, everyone wants them. And then they've both kind of gone into their own separate genres.
Can you imagine working with Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt at their peak, and they're like, oh my! I wonder if they were
I would faint like every time.
Douchebags, probably. They might have been cool. You never know, right?
I was gonna say I've always heard good things about Brad Pitt. I don't really hear about Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Like no one says one way or the other. But I've heard granted it's through the Hollywood grapevine, but. He's a great guy to work with. He always plays pranks on you. He makes like lifelong friends with the people he works with.
That's cool.
So like,
and see, I love Pitt, and I'm a big Tom Cruise fan. Like I don't his crazy side, whatever, but his acting. I think he's one of the hardest working actors in Hollywood.
I liked him in Minority Report.
Yeah,
people are like, "Oh,
Minority Report's
sucked."
but Minority Report's one of Spielberg's best movies. I think it's
I liked it.
Third act is like
it's a pretty movie too.
Yeah, third act is 20 minutes too long, but Minority Report is a good movie. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's one of Spielberg's best, like top 10.
Yeah, and the storyline, I hadn't quite had anything like that.
Yeah, that's Philip K. Dick as well, isn't it? I think it's Philip K. Dick.
I think so.
Yeah. Hey, Studio Grill. Check out Minority Report. I'm really curious if that's Philip K. Dick. But yeah, no, that's a great movie as well. So, I was curious to see if, okay, you're on 2, right?
Yeah.
I was going to guess. I like to guess in the last couple. Just as the flow of the conversation, and I have taken the piss out of some of them because I guessed them. Okay, and they're like,
know about Philip Dick?
Minority Report. Is that Philip K. Dick?
Who did what?
Minority Report. Did Philip K. Dick do Minority Report?
Direct it? Write it?
No, write it. So I like to guess to see if I can just guess it. So I was gonna say Interview with the Vampire. Okay.
No, didn't make my top 10.
Okay, so give me 3. Okay, 3 guesses.
3 guesses.
Okay.
The story, the
Braveheart.
No.
Damn. Okay. Gladiator.
Oh no.
Damn. Okay, so no, I didn't take the piss out of this one.
Well, Gladiator. Funny thing, I loved it the first time I saw it. The first couple times, and then I fall asleep when it's on TV now. Like I make it about like an hour in, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And it's a good movie. I just can't keep my eyes open anymore, and I don't know. Maybe it's because I've watched it too much and I already know what's going to happen, so no surprise.
I have like this epic trilogy. It's my epic trilogy. It's like Saving Private Ryan, Gladiator, and Braveheart, like back to back to back.
See, Braveheart was definitely 10 years ago would probably have been in my top 10.
Yeah, I haven't revisited lately. I'd be very curious to see how that holds up.
And Mel Gibson in his prime. I couldn't get enough of him. Yeah. Lethal Weapon.
I can't get enough of Mel Gibson now. Yeah, I don't agree with him in some of his choices,
Occasionally, he's not my speed anymore. But sometimes something will come out. So I
love weathered actors. They have the scars on their face, and the old guys and the old ladies, they don't get used enough. We're constantly after the prime. And there's just something about seeing that weathered face, man. You see Mel Gibson, Stallone, and Schwarzenegger. You see these guys on the screen. It's like Kurt Russell. Oh my God!
Stallone is a future husband of mine too.
Yeah, Stallone's badass. I mean, in this house, Stallone and Schwarzenegger can do no bad.
I have my celebrity harem, and there's definitely a top 10 in that too.
Okay, so. I'm such a Stallone fan. When he was doing Avenging Angelo and ICU, okay, these were straight to video movies. I was on IMDb trying to figure out if I could find bootleg copies, okay, of Avenging Angelo and ICU, okay? Those are 2 shitty Stallone movies, okay?
Brian wouldn't appreciate it.
I couldn't wait for Get Carter to come out. And so I'm not a fan of any of those movies right there, but
when he comes something out, you
I don't
have
care.
to see it.
I don't care.
You have to,
right there.
Yeah, you have to see it. And
I will cry when Stallone dies.
I haven't seen Expendables 3 yet.
I don't care. I love it. Stallone?
No, I haven't seen it. And
Yeah.
Brian's like, the second one, like, really, why do you want to see the third? And I'm like,
Stallone.
Stallone.
It's got all that, yeah. Then you got
have
Schwarzenegger,
all
man.
the action
yeah.
guys in it. Like, how
You
can
got
you
some
not watch
Gibson.
that? It's meant to be. Like,
that movie was directed
the
for me.
muscle
Like, I realize all the problems, and if someone came in here and they wanted to bitch about Expendables, I get it 100%. But I like it. It's Stallone.
Yeah.
It's Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, and
Just talk to me. I just want to hang out with Schwarzenegger and Stallone. That's it. So just put me in a room with them.
Stallone, I'd leave Brian for. So.
Whoa!
Yeah. Well, my harem's a lot bigger than Brian's.
Yeah.
So he doesn't get many on his. So.
All right, no. Number 2. That was 2. So
that was 2 guesses.
This. Well, yeah, no, we didn't even get to. Yeah, I went on a rant and I started putting. I was gonna write Stallone for her number 2. Like that's a movie. Okay, number 2.
Well, he is my number 2. Number 2 is Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince.
Okay.
Snape is my man. I love Alan Rickman. So another, little tribute movie, but he pulled that character out of the book for me, and just watching the Half-Blood Prince and already reading the books over and over, knowing what's, the whole storyline behind Snape, but getting to see the background into it and getting to understand kind of the mindset that he went through as a student from all his writings and all his made spells and created spells, and just seeing the struggle he has to go through to not be the good guy and still ends up being the good guy. So I don't know, that was a turning point in the series for me, and that's gotta be like my favorite collection of movies, but that's definitely like the best one of all 8. So
right on. Okay, and this takes us to Natalie's number 1 film.
Number 1 film
of all time.
Yeah, it's got 2 of my future husbands. Well, 2 of my future husbands before he died. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that is the best villain.
Another Alan Rickman. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That is the best villain for me. It is also the dream hero for me. Kevin Costner in that role. Yeah, I'd go for that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he was fantastic in that movie, but it was it was the coming back for the person you love, and defeating the big bad guy. But the big bad guy is someone that you can't help but love to hate.
Yeah.
He's a bad guy.
Can you sing the song?
No.
How's the song go? How's that?
I know
what is the song? What is? I even forget the song, but I know it's huge. It's Bryan Adams, isn't it?
It's Bryan Adams.
Yeah.
Everything I do for you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's one of my wedding songs.
So, is that gonna be played?
It will be played.
Yeah. Is that this year?
This year.
All right, on. Marrying the Man of Steel.
Yep.
All right, those are your top 10 films. Those were awesome, and I don't think any of those have been. Maybe Rocky. I don't think too many of these films have been picked before, so that's really cool. I love hearing inspired picks on here. So let's get in.
That's my all-over sporadic movie.
No, that's awesome, though. That's really good. So that was pretty difficult to put those 10 together, though. Yeah. Yes. Give me a few honorable mentions. Just throw some out there.
When I get attached to movies, I get really attached to movies. Die Hard.
Oh, that's in my top 10 as well. I think I almost did my top 10
Die Hard is a
tonight.
Christmas movie too.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? It is.
Okay, some of these trending Facebook things. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Yes. You can't. Apparently, someone wrote some sort of blog about how Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. Stop making it a Christmas movie.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, it's Christmas Eve.
Yeah. It happens on Christmas. He says ho ho ho.
Yeah. Says ho ho ho. Now I have a machine gun. There's Christmas music, which one of the best Christmas songs of all time.
It's not like
Christmas. They're having a Christmas party.
Movie.
Oh my god, it's Christmas, and it has a good.
It's a Christmas movie.
Yeah,
it's a Christmas movie.
Motherfuckers. All right, so now
that would be an honorable mention because Bruce Willis is he's an amazing actor as well, and I can't get enough Bruce Willis. So
yeah.
Actually, just yesterday. I think it was last night. we got done watching some stuff we had on demand, and Fifth Element was on, and I don't think Brian really likes that movie, so he was getting ready to turn it off. I'm like, but it's Fifth Element. And so I gave him a little fun fact, how the main villain and the hero never meet in the movie.
Oh, that is cool. You know what overshadowed that? Chris Tucker. Oh my God.
Yeah. No,
I'm
Chris Tucker! I got attached to Mila Jovovich in that movie too. I always have to see Resident Evil now. I always have to see every Resident Evil movie. That last one, oh my God, redeem it.
Yeah.
Like, the next one they make better redeem that movie.
Yeah, I think that's done. I think they burnt that series to the ground.
Nope.
Yeah.
No. You were gonna have like 2 or 3 more.
They will. They will for sure. They'll be 3D and cost.
Oh, they already brought back.
It'll be 3D and it'll cost $10. That's how much the budget will be.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mila will come back. There'll be 10 of her. I don't know.
There's already hundreds of her just dead laying in a ditch.
Yeah. So, this next one here is, we want to get into, I was going to do some rapid fire favorites, but I kind of want to get into what I call the business suit questions. I love these questions. Okay, the business suit. Yeah, so imagine I work for HBO, got the tie on, I work for Netflix, okay? And I need you to cast a buddy cop movie, any genre, okay?
Okay.
Any genre. I need 2 leads.
2 leads.
Ball's in your court. You call the 2 leads. It's going into production.
We'll go with a comedy.
Okay, comedy cop.
Yeah.
Okay, is this going Netflix?
I think HBO could do it too.
HBO? Okay.
You know what? I think a lot of people would grab it once they would hear who would be on board. Justin Long. And Bruce Campbell.
That's awesome.
I love Justin Long in comedies. I think he's a fantastic actor all around. You know, you watch him in Jeepers Creepers. You know, he does the horror and eyes ripped out. But then you watch Waiting. And
I'm glad you didn't say Justin Long and Bruce Willis.
You know.
Because that would have been Die Hard 3. You know?
Remake Die Hard 3 with the same people. No, Bruce Campbell. I love Bruce Campbell. You know, you go Evil Dead, Bruce Campbell was fantastic. But then you go into stuff like Burn Notice.
Wow.
And just Sing Sam. And he's like the washed out, retired, Boca type of guy. Still doing covert stuff and still badass, and he's got the humor. He's got the humor. He can make me laugh at anything. Okay. So it could be the worst movie ever, and you've got me on board with it.
All right, so Justin Long and Bruce Campbell.
Yeah, awesome. I think it'd be a lot like a Hollywood Homicide.
That's probably my favorite question that I bring up to anybody. Yeah. I love this question. It's so fun.
The buddy cop.
So Netflix needs an old television show to reboot. What do you reboot? It could be anything. Animated, live action, it doesn't matter. But the ball's in your court and you have to make it sell.
See, these would all be, you know, from my younger years. Some of them before my generation. I would watch the
bring them back. You bring them back, MASH.
The reruns. No, not MASH. Honestly, just because it was one of those kind of Miami Vice type things. Nash Bridges was one.
Oh, Nash Bridges, that's fun.
I had to watch every episode of that. And
that's fun.
It was kind of it was a good train wreck.
Yeah.
Like I hate saying watching train wrecks, but it jumped the shark a few times. Yeah. But man, him pulling up in that CUDA.
Dude.
Every episode I wanted that car.
And who wouldn't want their name to be Nash Bridges?
Yeah.
Who the fuck is that?
Right.
Nash Bridges.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I'm going to change my name. Can I change my name? How much does it cost to change your name?
I will find out soon.
Dude, I want to change my name.
She should know.
How much does it cost to change? Can I change my name? How does that even work?
You have to file paperwork.
Yeah?
Could I
change my name to Nash Bridges?
Just give yourself a pen name, a screen name.
Oh, that's easy because the voices told me, and if I don't, I'll kill myself.
Just give yourself a screen name. You don't even legally have to change it.
If I said I feel like I'm going to cut my balls off if I can't change my name to Nash.
They'll lock you up.
Yeah.
You'll be sent to the hospital.
Yeah.
With the real crazies who will try to slice you.
It's okay. It's religion. My new religion says my name has to be Nash Bridges.
Oh my god.
Then they have to go with that, right? There you go.
Yeah,
Or I'll cut my balls
that
off.
would be,
I would say if I'm going from stuff that I used to watch, I'd say Nash Bridges or My So-Called Life because I never finished it. It just ended. Just ended. Oh, Jordan Catalano. Just,
Nash Bridges, man.
Jordan Catalano was my high school crush. Like we had so many guys in high school that were
violent
Jordan.
femmes.
I just I couldn't get enough of him, and then it stopped. Those drive me nuts when they do that in the middle of a series, and I'm like, But
all right.
and then you gotta go with Murder She Wrote.
Yeah. Oh, Murder She Wrote. Yeah. You know what? They could probably spin that pretty good now.
Right.
Yeah.
You got Sherlock. You got
Get Sarah Michelle Gellar. That'd be so shitty. Oh, okay. And Sarah Michelle Gellar, and is the guy who played Nash Bridges? Is he still alive?
Yeah, Don Johnson.
Throw him. Oh yeah, not Don Johnson. Yeah, fuck yeah. I didn't even.
Oh god,
what
his
did I-
daughter.
yeah.
In 50 Shades of Grey.
No, Don Johnson's fucking badass in Django, and he's awesome in the bit part he plays in.
He's fantastic.
No, dude, Django, he's great, man. Wasn't he in
another
Machete?
movie.
Yeah, he Machete too. He's in Machete too.
I just saw him in a movie too. He played the dad.
Yeah, Don Johnson's bitching.
No,
He's in a
his
TV
daughter was Anastasia in 50 Shades of Grey.
Isn't that a good quote? Don Johnson is bitching.
Don Johnson's.
I want that on a T-shirt.
Well, and here's the thing.
Don Johnson is bitching gold.
Now, this might be just, it might be complete bullshit, but I remember watching Nash Bridges and loving the Barracuda, the yellow Cuda, and it's a freaking rare car. And I know on the show it's not the real car.
Yeah.
It's the shell of the car. But if I'm remembering correctly, Don Johnson actually owns one. And there's like 7 in the world.
Damn.
Like, this is a rare car. And I kept sitting there, like, knowing how rare this car is. I'm like, how the hell does a cop have this car?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, right.
Really? But it's Nash Bridges, so.
Like, yeah.
Don
That's
Johnson?
such a great... Yeah, Don Johnson's bitching. All right, so the comic book suits, they need a limited run or a mini-series. It can be anything. Something that's existed, or just something new. You could do a Nash Bridges comic book if you want to. What are you doing?
No.
What are you writing?
I'm going to go with my favorite. They've already had a movie. The Watchmen.
Okay.
I want to see, like, kind of a mini-series, limited run of when the heroes were still heroes.
Okay.
Before the fall.
Okay.
Just, going through all the different generations of Watchmen. The older generation of Watchmen and Comedian was... he was my favorite.
Yeah.
I loved the Comedian. He was a dick.
He's playing
He was
Superman's dad, too. No, Batman's dad.
Yeah.
And Superman's dad. That was Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
He went up
Yeah.
in the tornado with the
Yeah.
dog. But he's playing Ben Affleck's dad in Batman v Superman.
Yeah,
What's his name?
Yeah.
He's playing. He's gonna be in Walking Dead as
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he was in Supernatural. Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah, and
There we
oh
go.
my god, I've talked to Brian about this a couple times. If there's not a flashback scene or something where, the alternate Batman where they go like, what's it called? Flashpoint, where Batman's dad actually became Batman. Oh my god, I gotta see that live action where Jeffrey Dean Morgan puts on the fucking Batman suit. It's my #1 Christmas list. It's like that's what I want from Santa Claus.
Yeah.
I want Jeffrey Dean Morgan in a Batman outfit.
Oh.
That's it.
Well, see, when I first saw the posters for the
Kissing
Watchmen,
Nash Bridges.
I actually had it
That's
as a background
fucked up.
on my phone. That the promotional poster of the Comedian, this flamethrower, just surrounded by fire. I actually didn't know it was Jeffrey Dean Morgan because it was kind of silhouetted in dark. I thought it was Robert Downey Jr.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, oh yeah,
I can kinda see
RJ,
that.
he's,
Yeah.
oh, he's mine. So I put his picture on my phone and found out it's Jeffrey
Yeah.
Dean Morgan. I'm like, who the fuck is Jeffrey Dean Morgan? And I looked him up. I'm like,
Okay.
we will see what you can do.
For the next year, you should just tell everybody that.
And then I watched the movie, and yeah, it's good.
For the next year, you should just tell everybody that you meet that the comedian is Robert Downey Jr. And when they tell you that no, it's Jeffrey Dean Morgan, tell them to go fuck themselves.
No. It's gotta be Robert Downey Jr. No, I can't do that after Iron Man.
All right, so the suits that work for Star Wars need an idea for a Netflix series. We're going Netflix. Where are we going and what are we doing? Because it's going to happen. We're going to get a TV show. What is Natalie's Star Wars TV show?
Star Wars TV show, I would say, after Episode 6. Kind of Luke picking up the torch of being the Jedi Master and still honing his skills because, he still has, all Jedi still have things to learn. You can't fall into the loop of being complacent like, in the prequels. They were the desk jockeys in the prequels until they actually had to fight. They sat there all the time. I want to see Luke kind of becoming one with the Force and then going into training others and kind of see the development of Leia and Han and before the kids get involved, type of thing. Before, their kids get involved, I guess.
So you recasting then a Skywalker or what?
I mean,
you gonna Jeff Bridge him like Tron 2?
You would have to recast them, but you could do, you get the right special effects artists. You could get some similar people that can pull off the look. I mean, you had...
Have you ever seen Jeff Bridges in Tron 2?
I have.
Holy fuck.
I have the Jeff Bridges. I liked seeing him as the old one in there.
Yeah, no shit, man.
I watched that for Garrett Hedlund, though. So.
What happened to that guy, man? He just kind of disappeared after that, didn't he?
He was in Country Strong.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's got a couple things. He was in Friday Night Lights too, I believe.
Yeah, Hollywood betting on him for a while. I look for him to kind of come back up. He's
kind of been like Josh Hartnett.
Josh, what the fuck's happened to Josh Hartnett?
He does some independent stuff every once in a while. He doesn't like Hollywood.
Is that what it is? Because he just disappeared, man. Sin City 2 was the last thing I remember him. No, Sin City.
You love doing, and if no one comes to you with something that you are passionate about doing,
can he fucking afford that? I wonder what he does.
He still lives in his hometown.
Yeah?
Yeah. He lives in his hometown, just kind of doing his thing. So
probably owns that shit, doesn't he? When you're Josh Hartnett, you can't afford to keep your condo going in Miami, but you can buy a fucking Colburn or a Delphi.
Well, he never
had the best goddamn trailer.
He never moved into Hollywood or New York. He stayed in Nebraska.
Yeah. Fucking bet Nebraska's so boring.
Born and raised. I think he wanted to keep the
you know what's more boring than Nebraska? The drive to Nebraska. All right. So we're doing that timeline then. So after episode 6.
I want to see like Leia try to reestablish the Senate.
Okay.
And kind of get the new Republic going, and then stepping, before she steps back from the new Republic.
So I guess what's his name? Josh Hartnett lives in Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Oh. So. I like this. We need someone to just sit and be
the fact checker.
Be the fact checker. I like this, man.
I'm in Nebraska hometown.
Tell me we're right.
Right.
That's awesome though. So let's see. Let's do the suits that work for Harry Potter. Okay. Mm-hmm. Need an idea for a Netflix series. I just bought my wife for Christmas the. I'm gonna probably butcher it. Is it the Fantastic Beasts? And you know what?
I just got the whole set of books from Brian for my birthday.
Is it Fantastic Beasts?
Yeah, the new movie's just coming up.
Yeah.
Magical creatures. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm a terrible Harry Potter fan.
Fantastic Beasts and you know where to find them. That just sounds stupid. The Fantastic Beasts and you know where to find them. Yeah. Sounds like such a
the kids were actually reading that book in the car like the first day.
While we're on that, let's predict that real quick because that's a good prediction. Mm-hmm. The Fantastic whatever.
Eddie Redmayne.
Yeah. So when is this going to get rated? on the Rotten Tomatoes scale?
Not
Because
as-
that's
not as high as Harry
interesting.
Potter.
Yeah, is people going to receive this well? Because it's a spinoff. I mean, it could go either way with this. That's very interesting.
The thing
That
that is,
motherfucker sucked in Jupiter Ascending. That's one of the worst movies I've seen last year. Worst performance. His performance was so bad. They actually moved.
I like him.
Yeah, but oh my god,
like him.
watch Jupiter Ascending. Holy fuck.
Yeah, I heard they got golden raspberries.
Yeah,
Channing
they
Tatum
deserved
got
it, man.
one.
Oh my god, it was so bad. I went with
Ashton Kutcher's
I went with a video
woman.
editor, Josh Collard. Man, we went to go watch that, and we came back and we were just like, holy shit. We didn't even review it. It was just like, what the fuck.
We have nothing to review tonight.
No, it was so bad. And but that movie there, they actually pushed because he's playing. I forget what movie it is, but he plays, I believe, a transvestite in a movie this year that everybody's saying it was amazing.
Yeah.
And they actually pushed that movie back, his amazing performance, because they didn't want it so close to Jupiter Ascending.
Yeah, and I love Redmayne. I like every time I see him, I'm like, I remember watching him in something as a kid.
Yeah.
And I can't, for the life of me,
Okay,
recall
yeah.
it. And I don't want to be that person who has to look it up on the phone.
Yeah.
But I'll be that person and look it up on the phone.
All right, so the fantastic movie though, the Harry Potter spinoff.
It won't get near as high as Harry Potter.
Okay.
Because it is not the spinoff that people were expecting.
Will it be fresh? Will it be 60s?
Yeah, it'll.
Okay.
Yeah. 77.
77.
Yeah.
Okay, and so that goes into our question. We need an idea for a Netflix series, so you can't take anything like that, and you can't.
I'm gonna go with the canned response because I have always wanted to see it. The parents young.
Okay.
I want to see Prongs, Padfoot, Mooney, and Wormtail.
See, that's cool. That's
So,
good
I want
idea,
to see
good idea.
them in school. I want to see Lily and James and.
You think we'll ever see that?
And
like,
Lupin
seriously?
and Snape. I want to see them in school. We already saw the flashback. Lead into it.
Harry Potter's too rich. They're gonna do that eventually, right? They have to.
They have to. It has to be done. But that's the thing. J.K. Rowling says she's not going to write a book about it.
Yeah.
But
But
I'm like,
Star Wars
but you'll write every other book. You won't write this because it's a hipster thing and everyone wants it.
Because I tell you what, Harry Potter is this generation's Star Wars. Would you agree with that statement? Because there's a lot of fucking Harry Potter fans out there, man. I'm not a Harry Potter fan at all. But I respect it. Like, I tell you what, I went to Universal last year. One of the coolest experiences last year was going into, is it Hogwarts Alley? Is that, what?
Diagon Alley.
Oh my god. I'm not a Harry Potter fan, but just being there was like one of the coolest things I've ever seen. They did an amazing job with that.
They
going
take
into
you out
the
of
wand
reality
shop.
and,
We went into the wand shop, picking out our own wand. I was excited. I want that for Star Wars. I can't wait till I go into a goddamn.
Well, they're making the
I know.
Star Wars.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. It's gonna be badass.
No, I actually, it was on my Facebook, and if I could afford it, I would go now. They are doing Valentine's Day at Hogwarts.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like the set of the Hogwarts Hall, the Great Hall. There, people get to go and have their romantic 5-course Valentine's Day dinner, and I'm like, I will fly there now.
Yeah, have you been to Universal?
No.
It is so cool.
Not since Harry Potter. The last time I was at Universal,
it was mind blowing.
oh my god!
I mean, we even had the butterscotch beer.
I think I was
I don't know. What is it?
18 butterbeer.
It was so good.
Mhm.
It was so neat. I mean, they have these things like
They have a recipe on Pinterest. You can make your own.
They have
butterbeer.
they have motion sensor things where it's like you have to do the wand a certain way, and lights will come on in the alley.
I wanted to get the wand remote control for your TV.
Yeah, dude, we actually have the wand for our anniversary. So whatever that year or that month, that wand or the wand for that month. So we have that for our anniversary. It's pretty cool upstairs. But
one of my first Christmas presents from Brian was Snape's wand.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to see? Do you think Daniel Radcliffe will ever come back and do an older? I want to see that. Do you want to see that?
I don't think they'll do a grown-up Harry Potter.
See, I think that'd be so cool. And I'm not a Harry Potter fan, so I don't know.
The reason I want to see the young ones is because I want to see them kind of, but you have to do more than one movie. See them when they're in school. See them developing their personalities. See them when they get married. See them when Voldemort starts hunting them. When you have the whole, I know what it's called, but you had the whole group. You had the Longbottoms that get, the get cursed by Bellatrix, and I want to see those, but it'd have to be like, everyone does trilogies now, so it'd have to be at least a trilogy. Right? But I want to see the development of what led to Harry Potter being the chosen one.
Okay.
It's a Netflix miniseries. It's a Netflix show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Good deal. So the suits that. Okay, no. Pick a director for a future Star Wars movie. Could we have Colin Trevorrow? Ryan Johnson?
I'm gonna get a lot of flack for
this. You going Lucas?
No. Because he's fantastic at epic movies. James Cameron.
Yeah.
I don't know. Everyone's like, oh, he can ruin so many things. I'm sorry. Everyone saw Avatar, and they still give it shit now. You still paid to see it.
Dude,
you still loved it when it came out.
It blows my mind. I fucking hate goddamn Avatar. But you know what? That movie there will probably be the top box office movie when it comes out. Avatar 2. It'll be. It's been what, like 8? Can you? I'm glad I'm not an Avatar fan. Can you? Are you? Because you like Dancing with Wolves. All right. So are you do you like Avatar?
I like Avatar. I don't love Avatar.
Can you imagine the people who fucking dress up as Avatar and they had to wait what? Fucking goddamn 8-9 years for the sequel? Can you imagine that shit? Waiting that long for a movie. I mean, we did it as Star Wars fans,
Everyone, when Avatar started coming out and you were seeing trailers, everyone's like, "Oh fuck, James Cameron didn't die."
Yeah.
Like,
what are those?
What happened?
Na'vi? Fucking Na'vi. It looks so dumb.
See, goddamn. I didn't mind it, and everyone gives now. Sam Worthington, I heard, is not the best guy to work with, but.
What's her name? Nailed the shit out of that character, though. She was badass.
Yeah,
I liked her.
I liked her a lot.
Sigourney Weaver and becoming one with the trees and fucking.
Yeah, Sigourney Weaver, her character didn't get me as much. And yes, it's a cliche movie, and everyone knows what it was about. And to be fair, you're supposed to know what it's about. But unobtainium, really, like, little more creativity. Now, granted, you're talking about humans who are going to take over another planet. Yeah, we're probably not creative by that point in time. We tried to take over everything, so...
You know what sucks, too? I tried to sucker myself with Avatar. Like, first time I didn't like it, right? But you hear all this praise.
It's a gorgeous movie, though.
Well, yeah.
Gorgeous.
So I hear all this praise, right? And I go back and watch it again. I'm like, okay, I missed something, right? Like, fuck this movie. I did that like 3 or 4 times. Like, I know I missed something. And now I'm like, no, I hate that movie. And you know how, like, people say it's a gorgeous movie? In certain, okay, there's some great filmmaking going on there, for sure. I mean, the guy knows his stuff, and, he went to the goddamn bottom of the goddamn ocean to be able to film stuff like this, to craft lenses and, and do all kinds of cool things with cameras. But I think the Na'vi distracts everything that's going on there because I think it's such a shitty creation. I think it looks like a shitty design.
See, I didn't mind.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, there's a lot of Avatar fans. There's a lot of them out there.
Yeah. So. Honestly, those are more my people than anything. Yeah. So like, I'm in Brian's D&D game, and it's my first time doing it. But I was like, okay, I'm helping you with your D&D project. I need to know about it.
Yeah.
Like, I've never done role playing games or anything, and. Yeah, my character is a druid.
Yeah.
I'm the total nature nut.
Do you think we could dress Brian up as a Na'vi for Halloween or something? No. Paint him all blue.
No, he hates Avatar.
Little, like, cloth, not his junkus.
He hates Avatar. No, he wouldn't wear anything else.
Call him Nash Bridges.
A Na'vi named Nash Bridges.
Nash Na'vi.
Na'vi Bridges.
Well, we got his Halloween costume.
But no, James Cameron, I think, behind a lens with an epic. I think he can do it. Honestly, I would have gone Scorsese because I love him, but with something that's fantasy and sci-fi, you got to go with someone who has done it and can blow the roof off the box office for it and kind of give it kind of its due praise. So
okay, let's see. Let's do pick an actor or actress that you would like to see in the Star Wars universe.
In the Star Wars universe, I
think Justin Long could pull off a Star Wars.
No.
No.
Unless he was a goofy character.
Yeah.
An Ewok or a Gungan.
Justin Long is an Ewok.
He has to be something that's not actually him.
Yeah. Justin Long face, but like furry arms.
He's a Wookiee. Natalie Dormer.
Okay.
I like her.
I know that.
I like her. She was in Hunger Games. She had the half-shaved head and was filming. But she's Marjorie Tyrell in Game of Thrones.
Okay, that's where I know her from then.
She married Joffrey and then Tommen. I like her a lot. And she played badass really characters really well. I like her. I think she's sexy, but she's badass, and she shaves half her head and still looks fantastic. So I think she dives into the roles as much as possible, and I can't wait to see The Forest. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
She goes to the Suicide Forest. I want to see that. I want to see how she does in horror and scary. So it looks good to me, but I don't know, some horror movies I like that everyone's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Okay, and we're gonna get into that here in a little bit too. So,
oh goodness.
Let's see. Let's go with you have to kill a Game of Thrones character and they can never return. You got to Sean Bean him.
That one's easy.
Yeah.
Arya.
Arya? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna simple, Arya. She's I think she's the most expendable. However, I would like to see Daenerys killed off.
Okay.
It's unexpected.
Yeah,
It was George R. R. Martin, but she lost me for a while. I was like, okay, we got a badass chick. She called Drogo, and even after he died, she was trudging on, and then she just kind of stopped. She was like, okay, I'm good right here. This is my thing. And I'm like, you're ruining this entire city. And they're gonna shit on you for this, and they do. And then we're left with her waking up naked next to her dragon with another, what is it, Khalasar?
So who do you want to see on the throne? If you get to place that person on the throne, when it's all said and done, who do you want to see on the throne?
Who do I want to see on the throne? Are we talking TV or books?
TV.
They've killed off some people.
All TV.
They've killed off some people on TV there.
Who do you want to see on the HBO Game of Thrones? On the HBO throne. There could be only one.
Say nobody right now. All these people suck here.
I want Tyrion so bad to be on the throne. It's too predictable, though. I think there's a good chance he could get it.
Jamie.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
I love Jamie. Brian hates the fact that I love Jamie. In the book, he got me as the bad guy, but then he was just like, fuck you, Cersei, and just didn't even give a shit anymore. I was like...
We support the Lannisters. Sure.
I
not the incest, but the cunning.
Cersei can suck it. Cersei can suck it. I like Tyrion. I think he's definitely the brains, but I think there's more to Jamie than meets the eye.
Yeah.
He's a little deeper than everyone thinks.
Well, there's so many more questions I want to ask you, but we're running short on time tonight, so I'm kind of
female Brian.
Yeah, that's true. It's a lot of fun conversation though. There's all kinds of things I wanted to ask you tonight that I didn't get to, so we will do this again. But I do want to end. Make sure we get this question in. Last time I talked to Brian, we talked about a movie called We Need to Talk About Kevin. Okay? And so why don't you tell me a little bit about that? Because I think you had something you wanted to say. So what did he say that was inaccurate?
All right, this bus that ran over me in Brian's episode, and he never answered my question for. We need to talk about Kevin. I saw the movie. I like... oh shoot! I have his name written down. I know I do. Ezra Miller. There we go.
Oh yeah,
I
he's
had it
playing the
written down
Flash too.
specifically.
I didn't even know that was.
I'm not sure about that. I liked him in Perks of a Wallflower.
Yeah.
Perks of Being a Wallflower. I love him as an actor, and I heard he was in this, and he wasn't playing the, the kind of smiling kid.
I didn't. Well, real cool. I'm sorry. That was real cool though. I didn't even know because I know Ezra Miller's playing the Flash. I didn't even know there was a kid from We Need to Talk About Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool though.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I saw him during the
Which I think sucks because I want to see what's his name is Flash in the movies.
Great.
Yeah, he's my Flash.
Yeah, he's mine too. I think Ezra Miller can pull it off, but when they did the special after the Flash this week, his hair looks terrible. I don't know if he's growing it back out, but he better not look like that in movies.
Yeah.
Because what the hell are they doing? No, Ezra Miller and Tilda Swinton and I can't remember his name. He's from Step Brothers.
Oh, yeah. I was actually upset that, and when I talked to, it's oh, shit! I was upset because we didn't bring up his name in when I talked to Brian because I thought he was really good at it because I always like seeing him in independent films. You know, it's John C. Reilly.
Yes. Okay. I was like, I know he's got an initial.
No.
Yeah. So it's them. There's a little girl in it, but it's basically just mainly them on camera. Occasionally you have a couple of the characters pop up, but they're not important. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so Tilda Swinton and John C. Reilly, they meet, and fall in love, get married. She gets pregnant. Like she was I want to say like a huge ad exec. She ends up getting pregnant and hard pregnancy. She stays home, and she was like the flower child kind of. She traveled the world, and she had this life, and baby kind of not the best thing for her lifestyle.
The baby was an alien, and
no. I don't know.
Everybody's like, God damn, I want to see this movie. It sounds awesome.
No, she has her son, Kevin, and growing up, this kid is a dick. This is a dick. Only to his mom. He is the sweetest kid to his dad. But yeah, he doesn't talk, like, ever, as a kid. He won't say anything. She sits in front and she's like, ball. And she's rolling a ball to him, and he just sits there and stares at her.
Yeah.
Doesn't roll back or anything, just stares at her, and she's like, okay. Ball. He wears diapers until he's like 7, because he refuses to go to the bathroom. Won't do it. So, she changes his diaper all the time, and he's, in school.
Yeah.
Jeans, t-shirt, goes to school with his friends, like second grader type of thing, wearing a diaper. And whenever he gets mad, he just stands there, she changes his diaper, and she's like, oh my God, just...
Yeah.
And he stands there and he goes... She's like, oh, you did not.
Yeah.
His diaper? Yep. Shits the pants right in front of her. So she has to change it. She ends up grabbing him really hard, and like fractured his arm or something. I don't know. He's a dick. She's a dick. They don't like each other at all.
It's a brutal movie. It
is. And
I'm not talking like there's not a lot on screen that's brutal. It's a brutal underline.
And that's the thing is I'm sitting here hating this child. I'm like, okay, we do need to talk about Kevin because Kevin's dick. And John C. Reilly never sees any of this, and she complains to him. He's like, he's just a kid. He's a little slower with going to the bathroom and stuff, but he uses the bathroom. And she's like, really? Like, I sit here and change your diaper. You just used the potty. Like, you used the potty, and then he goes back to diapers, and like he purposely refuses to do it. She ends up getting pregnant again, and it's a surprise. Like, this is not like, oh, are you shitting me? Like, what? We have this thing, and I have another one, and it's a cute little blonde girl. Loves her mom, loves her dad. She's like the angel of the family, and no, Kevin does not appreciate this. He does a lot of stuff around the family, but it's kind of a Columbine thing.
Yeah, it is.
Brian hated this is because they start the movie off. It's just Tilda Swinton, and her house has all this red paint smeared on it. I think she's got the word murderer painted on her house, and she's spending time scraping the paint off her house, and just these kids walk,
Oh,
ride by on a bike, staring at her like, she's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Her car is covered in red paint, and she has to scrape it off her car, and she has to drive to work, and she can't get a job because no one will hire her. You can't figure out why.
Mentally just
and then
broken.
it flashes back to her being happy with her husband and having a baby. Then it flashes back to now, and it was all the flashbacks. So Brian's trying to be like, okay, why do we need to talk about Kevin besides he's a dick as a kid? Brian watching this movie, the flashback to now, he's sitting here wondering where's the pinnacle of this movie? When is something going to happen besides the kid being a jerk? And you slowly watch the kid get older, and then it flashes to now, and she's visiting someone in prison. Young kid, Ezra Miller. Okay.
The Flash. Oh, that's ironic.
The Flash.
She's visiting him in prison. The Flash isn't visiting his father in prison.
Alternate universe.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be crazy, wouldn't it?
Oh my god.
We need to talk about
The Flash is Kevin.
Oh.
No, but and then it flashes back and try to focus Kevin on something that's not destructive to the house or his mom. They start teaching him archery, and so they have this nice big backyard. They move out of the city, and he gets good. He's playing with kid bows, and then as they flash to him get older, Ezra Miller.
Which
now.
I will say that is a pretty effective image where he's in. I think it's been a while since I've watched it.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't he in the gymnasium with the bow and arrow?
Mm-hmm.
And that stuck with me. It's very creepy.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. This generation, we all know what Columbine is, and we all know about all these mass shootings and stuff, and these kids going in with guns, and you watch this movie, and there's no guns. Mm-hmm. there's no guns. But all through this, he's getting better. He's getting competition archery, and then his mom goes home. One night, she gets home, and there's all the lights are off. Kevin earlier that day, he had a huge, giant, heavy box of bicycle locks or car door lock. What are those? The steering wheel locks.
Oh yeah.
And he was getting those for people to lock up their bikes and stuff. And he's like, yeah, I got these real cheap on the internet. I can sell them to a ton of people at school and make a mint. Mm-hmm. She's like, fine, whatever. Do what you want. She goes home, and the house is dark. No one's home. Kevin, she called her husband and her daughter. Nothing. And she hears the sprinkler outside. But it's out the back door. How can you hear the sprinkler in this giant house? Back door is open. She walks out, and her husband and her daughter sitting on the ground. Spoilers. They're on the ground with arrows in them. She's flipping out, wondering where Kevin is now. She's driving around, and she sees all these cop lights and stuff, and they're at school, and they hear, a bunch of kids died and all this stuff, and she's hoping Kevin is safe until she sees the bike lock on all the school doors. Mm-hmm. So no one can get out. And then they flash to Kevin in the gym, putting together his arrows and his bow, and locks the gym because they're having a pep rally. And then just, he didn't get a lot off. It's not Hawkeye. You have
it's not like he's fucking arrow.
An unlimited amount of arrows. You've got 8, maybe a dozen arrows. So, but it's just knowing that it's not someone standing with a gun from really far away. It's a personal shot.
Yeah.
You're aiming for these people. And so she visits her son in prison, but every time you see her now, it's people treating her like crap. Wow. She's this, you're not important. Who do you think you are? You raised a murderer.
Yeah.
And then she visits him in prison. The last scene, and his head's shaved, and he's terrified. And so something's about ready to happen, but after all this, and it was the creepiest part, is he was a dick to his mom, but she was the most important person in the world.
Yeah.
He didn't murder her. He kept her alive.
I forget. Did he kill John C. Reilly?
Yeah.
His dad? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. It's
His
been a
dad
long
and
time
his
since I watched
sister.
it.
He blinded his sister. He threw a hamster in garbage disposal.
And like I don't remember it that well. I remember a buddy of mine, Ryan Smith.
It's a dark movie.
Yeah, we were pumped to watch it though, and there's some dark movies out there that I really appreciate. But I remember just walking away from it being like, someone drained me of 2 hours. You know, like I felt so empty afterwards, and I haven't really thought about that movie since.
Yeah, it's not like a huge crescendo movie.
Yeah,
but
I was excited when it was brought up though because I do it's an indie film, you know, and I do respect that someone actually had the drive to make this. You know, it's it is what it is. You know, and again, a lot of people love this movie. It was it was on a lot of top 10 lists for that year.
It's not at all like my favorite movie.
Is that what he said though? Did he say it was your favorite? Is that where's the Brian bus? Because did he?
This is one of her favorite movies. She bugged me to watch it all the time. I was finally like, okay, I'll sit down and watch it, and we're watching it because we were getting rid of Amazon Prime, and it's on my Amazon Prime account, like it's purchased. So as soon as Amazon Prime goes away, I'm pretty sure this movie goes away. I've got Thor 2 on there too because I accidentally pressed buy instead of rent.
Hey, I like Dark World. Do you like Dark World? No?
I think it was necessary to get to the next step in the story. That was...
I think they built Asgard more in Thor 2.
You could have told that movie in one of the end credit scenes.
Yeah. I think, because and we'll get back on this in a second, but the Thor 2, I appreciate Thor 2, Dark World, the dark matter and the villain, whatever, right? But I think what I appreciate about Dark World is when I watched Thor 1, my biggest complaint about Thor 1 is Asgard looked like it was a backlot. You know, it was so quick and done. It didn't look like it was populated. The CG like looked horrible. Away. Yeah, it was just junk. Mm-hmm. And here you actually get see different rooms. The whole funeral scene. They walk around. They do things. I mean, you see the different realms and. I don't know, just more love went into it from a creative process, I think. But I like Dark World just for that. It's not one of... It's probably...
It's a prettier movie.
It is, yeah.
I
understand Asgard more because of Dark World.
Yeah. I just... Storyline-wise... It was the bridge.
Yeah.
That was it. And I accidentally pressed buy.
Yeah. So, but you're not a huge fan of... we need to talk about Kevin. What do you rate on the AV 1 to 5?
1 being what?
Okay, 1 is ugly, 2 is bad, 3 is good, 4 is great, and 5 is Pantheon.
3.
So it's 3. So yeah, it's just good. It's good. You enjoy it. It's a good movie.
Yeah, I watched it. I appreciated it. I honestly thought because Brian likes the kind of fuck with your head stories
that he would like it.
Yeah, the flashbacks, he knew what was coming. Like, he knew this kid was fucked up.
Yeah.
And
So would you recommend this to anybody who'd be watching this episode?
I think it's worth watching. Mm-hmm. I really do. Brian, for some reason, just stared. Like, I kept looking over at him, and he's like... and for 2 hours. Yeah. It was just...
So not a good experience, then?
He apparently hated the thing. And I'm like, okay, I thought you would like it. I was wrong.
Excuse fucking me.
Yeah, and well, no, and that was basically
was it a fight night? No. Was it a fight night? Were you just like...
No. It was like, okay, I thought you would have liked it. That's why I kept asking you to watch it, because he watches some really shit movies.
Hey, here's what you need to do.
He really watches
we need to get him we need to talk about Kevin poster for the studio. Just when he's gone someday.
We need to talk about Brian.
We need to talk about Brian. Oh, that's going to be a perfect future episode. We need to talk about Brian. That'd be
Before
funny.
he sets fire to whoever he decides he hates.
Oh, you know what? Before you guys get married, we'll have like a AV movie counseling.
Oh.
We need to talk about Brian. We need to bring
together the DC and Marvel.
Yeah. So awesome. Well, there's a bunch of other things I wanted to ask you from your opinions on all kinds of things. But man, we're already at 2 hours. But you know what? Like I always told everybody when I first started this, a lot of our things are long, a lot of our conversations are long, but some of my favorite podcasts, I was just talking to my wife, I was showing her like all these podcasts I used to listen to when I was in the factory, and I would just drive around in my shitty little fork truck, and I would listen to podcasts, and man, all my podcasts I listened to, I went back and I showed my wife, because she's always complaining about, man, all your episodes are too long, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, so I look back and all the episodes that I listened to as a factory worker, if you're someone who does not have time to listen to, you're not going to have time to listen to it. But if you're someone like me, I'm cleaning, I'm doing something, I have something in my ear.
Like, I do that with audiobooks sometimes.
Exactly, yeah. You're at the gym, you're at work driving a shitty fork truck like I did, okay? All those podcasts were 2 hours and 30 minutes long, 3 hours long. And these are like big podcasts. My idol, someone who actually helped me form AV, not, physically, but on a, just inspired, me, is a guy named Joe Rogan. My favorite podcast is the Joe Rogan Experience. Yeah. And he brings people on and it's just let's talk, man. It's like 2 hours.
Fear Factor, Joe.
Yeah, Fear Factor. Yeah, the guy is brilliant.
Sure I had that
yeah. He's a UFC commentator. He's a stand-up comedian, and he's one of the most brilliant minds of his time.
He gets on some interesting topics, but they're things you want to hear about.
No, yeah, exactly. So. Yeah, and so those podcasts are like 3 hours long, and it's like if you want to listen to some people that just want to geek out and have fun, that's what I want to do. So they're long, they are what they are, but I value these conversations, new friendships, and all kinds of things. So it's just a blast. So where can they find you?
You can't.
On the grid. We have a couple great people. It's like off the grid.
I'm on the grid, just not super personally active.
Yeah.
I'm on Facebook. I'm me. Natalie Patterson on Facebook.
You're probably gonna get stalked after this because, Caitlin was on and she's getting stalked like crazy. So, what do you? Any stalkers that are watching this? What do you?
I've got a private account generally. Like even my friends can't even see my friends list. So.
So what about the stalkers that just message you after they watch? It's like, so, hey,
I've had a stalker before.
So hey, what's your favorite movie? No,
then you talk about movies. I'm a genuinely nice person. I'm the type of person who has invited Mormons into my house.
So I watched your AV episode.
I've invited Mormons in my house so they can spend 2 hours asking me what pantheism is.
Yeah. Well, that sounds interesting.
We won't even talk about Mormonism right now. Ask me all the questions you want, but you have a conversation and you're like, okay, that's fine, you. But
so Facebook,
it's one of those people that as soon as I send a dick pic, it's like, and we're done.
Okay, yeah. So it's like I liked your AV episode and your Legends of the Fall. I love that pic. That was fantastic. Dick pic, and then you're like, damn it. You.
Unless they're beautiful.
Yeah. So so Stallone sends you a dick pic. What's going on there?
I keep it.
You keep it. Right?
As long as I know it's his.
God, that has to look like a dirty dinosaur. Oh,
don't do that.
No? All right, so show's over. So they can find you on Facebook, right?
Yeah, I do have a Twitter. I am Funshine _ 54.
Gonna get some interesting tweets tonight, probably.
Funshine for the Care Bears, 54 for Brian Urlacher, because you got to represent for the Bears.
Holla!
Yeah.
All right, we're on Instagram. I finally, after a year, changed our YouTube page from Brad Hawkins to Adventures in Videoland. So that's awesome. We're at 1,200 people on Facebook. We're always growing. We're always looking for new people to come on. We have our Instagram page.
Except for those, I hate wrestling. It's fake.
Yeah. Yeah, those people.
I gotta go on that conversation a little late.
Yeah, I know. Brian actually messaged me on that one. He's like, hey, you gotta do something because this guy's being an asshole.
No, you just let them be an asshole.
And you know what? There's a lot of people on AV who messaged me too, and they're like, hey, this guy's gotta go. So I respected that and I moved him. But to be honest, I like train wrecks. Not real train wrecks, but train wrecks like that.
Well, the thing is, people are like, oh, this dude's a troll. And I'm like, I don't think he's trolling. I think he's legitimately
I had no idea. I
I
jumped onto that really late. I was like, a bunch of people messaged me. I didn't even know it was on
I commented on the thread.
Apparently
3 hours after, he had already gotten blocked. Later up the chain.
Yeah,
he's not even on here.
He got blocked before I even knew about it too, by one of my administrators. And But yeah, I was like, I actually invited him. No, that's not right. Because I invited him on before he got real crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna have him call in to the episode because I was all about that. You know, tell these guys wrestling sucks, and that would be one of my favorite episodes of all time. Just to see them get all shitty.
Have the huge debate.
Yeah. Oh, I would love that. So yeah, debate with us. You know, we like to talk about movies. We're a friendly group. Our Instagram page is like 200 pictures right now. I love going to our Instagram page and just looking at all the crazy fucks that's been on this show. So, thank you for watching, and until next time, my good people, peace out.
You are teeny.
What? Connor, the other room. I don't want to hear you. What? Don't. Goddamn dog. Move, dog. Move, goddamn dog.